In this video, we're going to go through Surfboard, and specifically, we're just going to go through lights and receptacles today. So here we have a model. The only thing in our electrical model is going to be a couple panels, some levels. That's it. The lights that you see in here are in the linked architectural model. So with that, we can look at a couple plans here. Again, nothing on the ceiling or anything like that, just a couple panels within each electrical room. So we'll go ahead and load Surfboard here. We're going to go through unique room names. You can also do this by level. Make sure that when you choose by level in Surfboard, that your levels match the level names of the architects exactly. Huge, big thing here, or whatever linked model you're choosing to reference from, your level names need to match exactly. So we'll just go with unique room names. It's going to go and pull the list of all the unique room names in the model. Again, unique means unique, right? Individually named. So cafeteria versus cafeteria. So you have basically two rooms for the same room name. Just again, it's misspelled. So that also means for like men, women, toilet, R.R for restroom, or RR or restroom, however many variations you have, or how many rooms are going to show up in this list. We do that to consolidate the number of rooms that show up in this list for you. So again, trying to make it simple for you guys to place content throughout the model. So we're going to go ahead and choose our light fixture. Again, made this simpler in this version of Surfboard, where all you need to do is pick your family, your lumens value, your default foot candle level, and your work plane height. Again, 2.5 feet is typically the work plane that we are dealing with. So again, here's standard fixture. Go ahead and just do this. So this is, again, doing your general lighting calculations using the lumen method throughout each space. So we'll go ahead and put that in here. Maybe bump this down for corridors. And again, you could change these for each one. We'll just put the emergency fixture in corridors. And again, it's going to place all of that fixture type. So when we run this, you'll see all emergency fixtures placed within the corridor. Very important to note. Okay, moving on to receptacles. So again, we're going to choose our default menu. This is just our default device that we're going to put in first. So again, we'll just choose a standard duplex, 2 per wall, and go from there. So we'll select everything. So in our corridors, a great spacing is really 1 per wall because of all the bisected walls that we have in Revit. Meaning that in like this corridor down here, you have these vertical walls that bisect it. So really, this is one wall section on this instruction room. This wall section here is another wall, and this is another wall, another wall, another wall. So we would get one centered in each of these wall spaces in the corridor. So that's really the best way to go about putting your convenience receptacles in corridors, and then again, adjusting them as you would see fit. In storage rooms, we can go with our 6 inches from the door. Same in our electrical room. Again, knowing a little bit about the spaces, how they're configured, goes a long way in making sure that it's what you want to have happen. Instruction rooms, here we can do like a perimeter spacing, something like that. In the library, we might want 3 per wall. So again, we just go through each of our rooms, select what we would like to have, and we'll put duplex GFCIs in our men's room. We'll just want 1 per wall in the office. We'll do 2 per wall in the open office. In our sprinkler room, we just probably want 6 inches from the door. In our dish prep, that will also work out. And then storage rooms, again, duplex is good, 6 inches from the door, GFCI here as well, 6 inches from the door. And then if we wanted something in the vestibule, we could do that as well. And we could just put 1 per wall in the vestibule. So this is lighting and receptacles, kind of the easy thing to lay out and really help in your model. So we'll go ahead and run this using Surfboard, give it a minute to populate. And again, use those default menus to choose the family that is going to be populated in the majority of your spaces. Again, you can adjust them throughout like we did for receptacles. So super important to note kind of what you can and can't do here, which we try to give you a ton of options to lay out your lights and receptacles. So again, pretty simple and straightforward. Pick the default fixture for your spaces. And again, we'll populate pretty quickly here. So again, in our corridors, right, we have our emergency fixtures. And then we can see in our vestibule, because we put 40-foot candles, that we probably don't want something like this. So again, it's important to note, what your criteria was as you were laying it out. So we delete half of them, it's getting closer. And again, we're picking troughers. You probably want downlights in here. Same in your lobby, probably wouldn't want this type of fixture. But again, for quick, simple, easy layouts, that's the way that we're going. Then with your individual rooms, so again, we're giving you the choice in how you would lay these out, right? Do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? Do you want to go up? Do you want to go down? So trying to give you as a designer the options on which direction you would like to go with your fixtures. So here we are, set them in the grid, or you have the architect snap to your fixtures, however you'd like to proceed. So again, with like this room, we can see the bump outs here. So we're going to have like this fixture, this point is kind of what we're going off of, that top left corner. So it's somewhat in the space. So it didn't or placed it rather than not, same here. So for some of these, we might want to end up moving these over. Maybe we align these with those fixtures, maybe not. For this stair, maybe we just bump it, this fixture, instead of being in the corridor, we push it to the stair, and that stairwell again. So for the most part, all of your fixtures are here. It's going to be these small adjustments to make throughout so that you have the layout that you want. And again, this is for every floor of the building. So if we go and look at the second floor, again, all those fixtures are placed. There's going to be adjustments throughout, of course, to help you. And then occasionally, some spaces don't get populated. So, or we have things like this where that fixture would be on a column, which then bumps it out of the room. So things like that, or what we would need to, again, you'd want to adjust the layout and then add in that fixture where the column is placed, so that you have your equal distribution throughout. But again, this is 90% of all your lighting layouts. Obviously, for like your main vestibule entry area, some of your more architectural spaces, you're going to want to put architectural fixtures in. And again, that's going to be the human element versus just performing the lumen method to lay out those light fixtures. So let's go over to our floor plans. So here we have, and again, for symbols of these fixtures and elements, it will be your symbols, your fixtures, all that kind of good stuff. So here we have GFCIs, one right next to the door. In our bathrooms, we have 2 per wall in like this lounge room. So again, some of this might not be the things that we want to see in these spaces. So you might have a few too many or too few. And then another big thing to note is that for this curtain wall, we're not going to place any devices on that curtain wall. This is really the closest that we're going to get in placing a device on curtain wall, because again, we are doing kind of our perimeter spacing here. So we've got our 12 feet on center with these devices. So super big thing to note as we go through this. And then again, you've got your 6 feet from door, 12 feet on center, and it'll choose one door and then go from there, is how this is laid out. So that's the spacing here. We'll see these guys. our 12 feet. And then this guy is going to be our 6 feet from the door. So that's, and then our 1 per wall, as noted in the corridors here. And then the, I guess, cool thing is, let's say that we didn't like these layouts. So we're on the first floor. And again, this is populated through all the floors, right? So let's say here on the 3rd floor, and I'll just go ahead and tag the rooms. So let's say that in 306, I really didn't like this layout. Let me just delete the receptacles. So 306, don't like the layout. We'll go to Surfboard by level, 3rd floor. And again, those are duplicated. So what I can do here is go to, we want receptacles, quantity per wall. Let's just say we want 2 per wall in 306. And let's say that we want our, let's just put quads in here. So in 306, we're going to put 2 per wall and quads. So that's one way that you can go back through and, populate just a specific room in your model if something is not to your liking. Again, it'd be like just populating any device afterwards. So what we can also do here is, like we can move these, right? Obviously, you don't want to move them off the wall, but you can move these, left, right, up, down, delete them, move, change, add, delete, right? Any of the devices that come in here, and then obviously circuit them as well. So, power, choose a panel, 3-1. So this, would then be circuited to RP 3-1, all that good stuff. So there you have it. A simple little walkthrough for Surfboard and placing lights and receptacles. Thank you for watching, and until next time.